They tell you what to think. They tell you what to believe. They build walls around your mind and call them facts. They tell you to trust the experts, trust the science, trust the media. They demand your obedience. They demand your silence. And if you dare to ask a question, if you step 1 inch outside their approved narrative, they will come for you. They will label you. They will ridicule you. They will try to destroy you. This isn't a classroom. This isn't a polite discussion over coffee. This is a war for your mind, a war for your reality. And here, on Triggered Reality, we fight that war. We don't offer safe spaces. We don't do trigger warnings. We don't apologize for the truth. This is the only place left where the unspoken can be said, where the forbidden can be examined, the powerful, the elites, the people who run the world. Today, we are going into the belly of the beast. We are touching the third rail. We are talking about the one topic guaranteed to get you laughed out of the room, the one subject that instantly brands you as a lunatic. Flat Earth. Just saying the words makes people uncomfortable. They shift in their seats. They roll their eyes. They've been trained to react that way. It's a conditioned response. A trigger. They've been taught that this debate is settled. It's a joke. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why? Why does this specific topic provoke such a visceral, emotional, and aggressive reaction? You can debate economic policy. You can argue about foreign wars. You can even question the nature of our political system. But the moment you question the physical shape of the world you live on, you have crossed a line. You are immediately cast out. It is intellectual heresy. The high priests of science, with a capital S, will descend upon you with fury. This video is not just about whether the Earth is a spinning ball or a level plane. That is the surface-level conversation. We are going deeper. This is about your right to see with your own eyes, to think with your own mind, and to question everything. Comment truth below if you've ever felt that flicker of doubt. And subscribe because we're just getting started. Let's be clear. The debate between a flat Earth and a globe Earth is not the real fight. That's the distraction. That's the puppet show they put on for you while they pick your pockets in the dark. The real fight is about something much deeper. It's about power. It's about control. It's about who owns the narrative. Whoever controls the narrative controls the population. If they can convince you of something as fundamental as the shape of the world you live on, without you ever verifying it for yourself, what else can they convince you of? What other lies can they feed you? What other systems of control can they build on that foundation of blind trust? Think of it like a building. The globe model is the foundation. On top of that foundation, they have built everything. Our education system, our scientific institutions, our media empires, our geopolitical structures. If that foundation cracks, even a little bit, the entire structure becomes unstable. The people in charge cannot allow that to happen. Their power, their authority, their very legitimacy depends on that foundation remaining solid and unquestioned. This is why they don't debate. This is why they ridicule. They are not protecting science. They are protecting their power structure. So, we are going to do what they say you should never do. We are going to take both sides seriously. But because the act of questioning itself is a revolutionary act in this age of conformity, we are going to look at the globe Earth story, not as unquestionable fact, but as a narrative, a story told by people in positions of power. We will examine how that story is constructed, how it is maintained, and how the facts that support it have changed over time. We will look at the role of institutions like NASA, the media, the education system. Then, we are going to look at the arguments from the other side, the flat Earth arguments. We will listen to what they are actually saying, instead of relying on the straw man caricatures presented by the mainstream media. We will look at their evidence regarding the horizon, flight paths, the mysteries surrounding Antarctica. We will explore their deep skepticism of official sources, government agencies. We are not asking you to believe them. We are asking you to do something far more radical, to listen. Share this video with someone who isn't afraid to think. Comment below. What is the one thing you're not supposed to question? And make sure you are subscribed. The real battle begins now. After ridicule comes the branding. They need to put a label on you. A scarlet letter for the modern age. Conspiracy theorist, science denier, flat earther. These are not descriptions. They are indictments. They are carefully crafted slurs designed to strip you of all credibility. Once the brand is applied, nothing you say matters. Your arguments are dismissed without being heard. Your evidence is ignored without being seen. You are no longer a person with a different point of view. You are a type, a dangerous, delusional, and ignorant type that must be marginalized for the good of society. This process is insidious and it is deliberate. The media, the so-called fact-checkers, academic institutions, they all participate in this branding. They create a caricature of the conspiracy theorist, a paranoid loner in a tinfoil hat. They repeat this image over and over again until it is burned into the public consciousness. So when you raise a legitimate question about NASA's photos or the secrecy surrounding Antarctica, people don't hear your question. They just see the tinfoil hat. They see the brand. And then there is the Vatican of this new religion, the highest authority, the final word on all things related to space and the cosmos, NASA. This single organization is the primary source for almost all the evidence we are given for the globe model. They are the ones who provide the pictures of Earth from space. They are the ones who run the missions to the moon. They are the ones who run missions to other planets. They are the ones who operate the satellites that supposedly orbit our world. Does that not strike you as a problem? One of the most revealing things is how the facts of the globe story change over time. The story is not stable. The details are constantly being revised, updated, quietly corrected. It's a moving target. For decades they said perfect sphere, then oblate spheroid, then a bit pear-shaped. The shape isn't settled. Think about the pictures. The continents were massively different in size. People pointed it out. They said different lenses were used, projections were used. The images were composites, not real photos. So what Earth looks like depends on the artistic choices of a NASA graphic designer. This is not science, this is marketing. For 50 years, the moon landing was untouchable proof. Now they say they lost the original telemetry data. They say the technology to go back was destroyed. The head of NASA said they can't get past the Van Allen radiation belts. The story is falling apart. This is what happens when a narrative isn't based on solid, verifiable truth. It must be patched and repaired. Changing facts aren't healthy, self-correcting science. They're the sign of a failing lie. Comment truth if you've noticed changes. And subscribe, because we keep the receipts. They tell you to ignore your senses. They call it a cognitive bias. They say your eyes cannot be trusted, your experience is irrelevant. But what if your senses are telling you the truth? Stand on a beach and look at the ocean. Go to the flattest plains you can find. What do you see? You see a perfectly flat level horizon. Think about water. Water is the great leveler. It is the one substance on Earth that will always find its level. Yet they ask you to believe that entire oceans somehow cling to the outside of a spinning ball. They tell you that gravity makes the water curve. But gravity is just a word for a theory. What you can see is that water is always flat. Great lakes, canals, and seas, observed over dozens or even hundreds of miles, show no measurable curvature. They give you a formula. It is roughly 8 inches per mile, squared. After just 10 miles, there should be over 66 feet of curvature. At 50 miles, the drop should be over 1,600 feet. People worldwide are doing experiments. They consistently see things that should be impossible on a globe. Lighthouses visible from 40 miles away. The Chicago skyline photographed from across Lake Michigan at 50-plus miles. The official explanation is always the same: refraction, light bending, a looming mirage. But that's not what we see. Amateur high-altitude balloon videos show a perfectly flat horizon. The horizon rises to eye level of the camera up to 20 miles altitude. When you look at actual international flight paths, they make no sense on a spherical Earth. They only make sense when you plot them on a flat, azimuthal equidistant map. Look at the route from South America to Australia. On a globe, the shortest path is over Antarctica. But no commercial flights take that route. Instead, they fly far up into the northern hemisphere. Then there are emergency landings. In 2015, a flight from Taipei to Los Angeles diverted to Anchorage. On a flat map, Anchorage sits on the straight line path. Antarctica. On the globe model, it's a landmass at the bottom of the world. But in the flat Earth model, it's a massive ice wall that surrounds the entire known world. Think about the Antarctic Treaty. At the height of the Cold War, The world's superpowers declared Antarctica off-limits to all independent private exploration. You'll be stopped by military force. They tell you it's to protect the environment. But these are the same governments that pollute the planet and fight wars over resources. Should Antarctica be open to everyone? What are they hiding behind that wall of ice? They need you divided. A population that's fighting itself is a population that cannot fight its rulers. This is the oldest trick in the Book of Power. Divide and conquer. Left versus right. Liberal versus conservative. Democrat versus Republican. They've built two massive pens, and they've spent generations conditioning you to pick a side. They tell you that the other side is your enemy. While you're busy hating your neighbor for putting the wrong sign in their yard, the people who run the world are laughing. They're laughing all the way to the bank. They don't care about the culture wars. They created the culture wars. It's the ultimate distraction. It doesn't matter who wins the election. The agenda remains the same. More control, more surveillance, more wealth transferred from you to them. The two political parties are just two wings of the same bird of prey. The flat earth question shatters this false dichotomy. It doesn't fit into the left-right paradigm. In fact, it's hated by both sides. The mainstream left will call you a science-denying lunatic. The mainstream right will call you a crazy distraction, because it unites people based on a question of truth, not political affiliation. It reminds people that they have more in common with their supposed enemies than they do with the elites who rule over them. Have you ever wondered why they call them globalists? The ideology of a single unified world government is linked to the image of the globe. The globe is their symbol. It represents their ultimate ambition. A world with no borders, no national sovereignty, no individual freedom. A world managed by a single unelected elite. Every major threat they present is global in nature. And the solution is always the same. More global governance, more power for international bodies, United Nations, World Health Organization, World Economic Forum. The globe model teaches you we're all passengers on Spaceship Earth, a fragile vessel adrift in a hostile universe. This mindset fosters collectivism. They want to be the captains of Spaceship Earth. They want to control the thermostat, the food supply, the number of passengers. The globe is their philosophical justification for tyranny. But what if the world isn't a tiny, fragile ball? What if it's a vast plain, rich with resources? One model leads to globalism and centralized control. The other leads to sovereignty and individual freedom. Comment truth if you are tired of their political games. For centuries, there have been two forces that have claimed ultimate authority over humanity: religion, science. They present them to you as opposites, as mortal enemies, faith versus reason, Bible versus Big Bang. But honestly, this is the oldest lie of all. It is another false choice. Another manufactured conflict designed to distract you. Religion and science are not enemies. They are two hands of the same body, two tools in the same toolbox of control. In our modern world, they have elevated one of these pillars above the other. Science, with a capital S, has become the new state religion. Its high priests, the celebrity scientists, are paraded on television. They have their own creation myth, the Big Bang. They have their own holy scripture, the peer-reviewed journal. They have their own system of original sin, your carbon footprint. And they have their own version of hell, being labeled a science denier. The core tenet of this new religion is materialism. You are just a biological machine, a meaningless accident. A population that believes it is nothing more than a cosmic accident is a population that is easy to manage. If you question its sacred cows, the globe, evolution, the efficacy of a new pharmaceutical product, you are committing blasphemy. You are not met with debate. You are met with excommunication. They will deplatform you. They will cancel you. They will ensure you can no longer earn a living. But what about the old religions? They are still a powerful tool. They will fund radical religious groups to destabilize a region they want to control. They promote a weak social justice version of Christianity. They encourage a form of New Age spirituality that removes any need for a higher moral authority. They want your religion to be a hobby. But true faith, in its purest form, is the ultimate threat to their system. A person who truly believes they are created by God, endowed with an immortal soul, accountable to a higher power, can never be fully controlled. A nation of God-fearing men and women is a nation of lions, and they want a world of sheep. Your faith can be a weapon used against you, or it can be your shield against them. Does religion save or control? It depends. Are you following God, or are you following the men who claim to speak for him? They need your attention, your focus. It is the most valuable commodity in the world. More valuable than gold, more valuable than oil. Because, whoever has your attention has your mind. And so they've built the most sophisticated, most addictive, most pervasive distraction machine in the history of the human race. It's in your pocket. It's on your wall. It's in your car. It's a relentless 24-hour-a-day stream of noise, all designed to do one thing: keep you from thinking, keep you from looking at the world around you, keep you from noticing the bars of the cage they have built. The Roman poet Juvenal wrote about it, like 2,000 years ago. Bread and circuses. Give the masses cheap food and spectacular entertainment. They will never revolt. The bread is the processed food, the fast food delivery. The circuses are Netflix, the NFL, Hollywood. The goal is to keep you in a state of passive consumption, a spectator, not a participant. Your role: sit in the stands, watch the show, cheer for your chosen team. The flat earth question is a rejection of this entire paradigm. It's a refusal to be a spectator. It's to jump down from the stands, walk onto the field, and demand to inspect the ball. Hollywood is not in the entertainment business. It's in the propaganda business. It's the most powerful church in the world, preaching its gospel to billions every single day. Every movie you watch, every show you stream, is a sermon. Think about the messages, repeated until they become unquestionable truths. The government agent is always the hero. Traditional values are always backwards. The independent thinker is a dangerous lunatic. And of course, the globe. And who are the high priests of this church? The actors, the directors, the producers. A small, insulated cabal of multimillionaires. They lecture you about social justice from their private jets. They tell you to sacrifice for the common good while they live lives of unimaginable excess. It's time to stop listening to their sermons. It's time to turn off their gospel. Comment truth if you're tired of the celebrity circus. So after all this, what is the answer? Is the earth flat, or is it a globe? The final unfiltered truth is this: it does not matter. They want you arguing about the shape. They want truth seekers divided into camps, fighting over the details of the prison walls, while completely ignoring the prison itself. The shape of the earth is the ultimate psyop. The real question is not what is the shape. The real question is, who has the power to dictate that shape to you, and why are you not allowed to question them? This has never been about science. It has been about authority. The most effective prison is the one you don't know you're in. For decades, they have been building this prison inside your mind. The flat earth question, regardless of its answer, is a sledgehammer to the wall of that prison. The moment you ask, what if, you have created a crack in the prison wall. The walls begin to crumble. This act of questioning is the beginning of your escape. They cannot allow this. They are afraid of your mind being free. We stand at a crossroads in human history. On one side is the future they have planned for you, a future of total control. It is absolute slavery. On the other side is a different path. It is a harder path. It is the path of resistance. You can no longer stand in the middle. The time for indecision is over. To do nothing is to choose the path of slavery. To remain silent is to consent. The truth is, you have more power than you can possibly imagine. But it is dormant. It is asleep. Our job here is to wake it up, to trigger it, to remind you that you are not a slave. You are not a meaningless accident. You are a child of God. You are a sovereign being, and you do not need their permission to be free. Your mind is the one territory they can never conquer unless you surrender it. Do not surrender. Question everything. Believe your own eyes. Trust your own gut. The truth is not safe. It is a fire. It will burn away the comfortable illusions. It will leave you standing naked and exposed, but it will also make you free. This is triggered reality. No filters, no apologies. We will be here as long as they allow us to be. They will come for us. They will try to shut us down. But the idea, the truth, will outlive this channel. So subscribe now, share this video, wake someone up, because the truth isn't safe and neither are we.